Your femininity is your power, and you hold the key to living your best life and having the best relationship imaginable. So, buckle up as we dig into some of the highlights from this season of the Secret Formula of Femininity. All of the things that you need, let's call this the starter pack on your feminine energy journey. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Secret Formula of Femininity for women who want to live a more feminine, fun, and fabulous life. I'm Dr. Nicole Montero, your host on this weekly journey to unlocking your inner radiance, nurturing fulfilling relationships, and becoming the best version of yourself. Well, welcome back, everybody. I am Dr. Nicole, your guide on this journey to tapping into your feminine essence. And we are at the end of season 1 of the Secret Formula of Femininity. I thank you so much for coming along on this journey wherever you started. If you've been with us since episode 1, yes, yes, yes. If you just joined last week, it's okay. You can go back and listen to the entire season. I'm so excited to start season 2 for you all. I have some amazing guests planned, and we're going to dig deep into some of the topics that you loved the most. So, this is a recap on how to really start wherever you are in your journey or enhance your journey of femininity in healthy relationships. And I thought it would be a good time to go through some of our episodes. Like, we're just going to go through what stood out from some of the episodes. And I want to let you know that we are starting a live show as well on YouTube. So not only do you get the episodes, but you get to join live if you have questions in the chat. And I'm even going to have some call-ins available. So we have covered, I'm so proud of all of us, the us feminine energy women. We've covered so many topics this season. The first was the power of femininity. Got a lot of powerful feedback on that, especially from women who are high achievers and women who didn't know they had lost touch with their femininity. They were getting mixed messages about whether they should be boss chicks or career women or feminine women, and we helped bring it all together for them. And then in episode 2, we talked about confidence and self-esteem. And I have always said that, like, if you want to start anywhere with your femininity, start with the story that you're telling yourself. Are you feeling confident? Have you worked on your self-esteem in areas where you might not be feeling so good about yourself because of things that happened to you when you were younger, setbacks that you've had, or maybe you never even got that validation and that healthy self-esteem growing up. Then we talked about, oh, this was one of my favorite ones, how to embrace your vulnerability in relationships. And that was kind of a theme throughout. So all of the episodes had a tinge of how to tap into your vulnerability, because that is the key to really understanding yourself as a woman, but also being connected in a relationship. So I know there's a lot of fears around vulnerability. And one of the guests I have coming up for season 2 is a male relationship coach. And he talks about how vulnerability is like kryptonite for men. Like, it just disarms them. It makes them want to just embrace you, connect with you, protect you. And so it's good for you, of course, but it's also really, really healthy for relationships. And then this was a favorite, the power of soft communication. And if you notice, if you go through the episodes, I always talk, and I and my guests always go into tips, things that you can do, actionable behaviors and changes and shifts that you can make, mindset shifts that you can make that will change your life. And with soft communication, the key is, and you have to go back and really listen to the episode, but one of the keys is learning that your tone matters so much. So once you start addressing your self esteem, your confidence, understanding the power of your femininity, and starting to understand the power of being vulnerable, your communication is where you start to bring it together. And one of the ways that you can just start changing your communication to be softer and more inviting is to actually look at your tone. Your tone, we've always heard it. It's not necessarily what you say, but it's how you say it. So your tone can just change something from being well received to being horribly received or vice versa. So the power of soft communication is enormous. And also, oh, I love this one. When we talked about your personal style. So you don't want to, we know that it's the inner work that is really the core of tapping into your feminine essence, but it should also radiate outward. So, learning how to pull together your own personal style. We hear a lot about everybody is a brand, but it's really like you are, how do you want to represent yourself? How do you want to show this amazing work that inner work you've done, this self esteem and learning yourself and knowing how to communicate? It should reflect in how you present yourself outwardly. So, that was a great episode, episode 5. And then, oh, I love this when we talked about body positivity and how that affects your relationship. And this wasn't just, none of my topics are just everything that you always hear people repeating. Because the thing with body positivity is you need a certain level of positive regard for yourself in order to make any changes. So you may not be where you want to be in terms of your own health and fitness and where your body is, but you have to love it now in order to have the motivation to make the changes and improvements that you want to make. And I think health is so serious and important. And we don't want, my message is the more you improve your physical health, it's going to reflect in how you feel about yourself, what you attract to yourself, and also your longevity. So, body positivity is about loving yourself enough to make the healthy changes that are going to get you to where you want to be. Um, and then this was one of the most, episode 7 was one of the most watched and listened to episodes. And this was the art of saying no. And so, I'm the boundaries queen. Anything around boundaries and establishing what's important to you, what your priorities are, and then communicating that to the people in your life, that is my jam. And my book, The Boundaries to Bliss Blueprint, for women who are finally ready to win at love, allows women to figure out how to strike the right balance of boundaries within their relationships. But the art of saying no is tremendous. It really is an art, right? We can't just say it's as simple as tell everybody no. Boundaries are really like a fluid dance. And the more you get comfortable with them and practice them and get firm and clear on who you are and what you want, the easier they will become. And then, oh, I love one of my friends said that episode that you did on flirting. So, flirting with confidence, how to express your femininity and your feminine essence was another favorite episode because we know part of our femininity is just being playful and fun, not everything. And I know we are living in some really difficult times, but let me tell you something. For some people, it feels like difficult times. For others, for a lot of people, we feel weighed down by the weight of what's happening in the world. But we are not the first and we won't be the last to deal with adversity. And that doesn't mean that you stop living, that you stop thriving, that you stop striving, and that you stop allowing yourself to connect and be playful. So that flirting, it was a great episode. Um, and then also we talked about marriage, like breaking down the marriage conversations. That is one that in season 2, we are going to go so much deeper into these relationship topics. And so one of them is marriage. Is marriage a thing in 2024, 2025? Should it still be the goal? So I'll let you guess where I stand on that. But that was a great discussion. And then going deeper in episode 10 into the art of feminine communication within your relationship. So it's soft communication on, times 2. It really delves deeper into some of the secrets of feminine communication and how that impacts your relationship. Also, we got to talk about resilience and how to overcome trauma and adversity and things that we've been through while still maintaining your softness as a feminine woman. See, the goal is not to be bitter and hard because of the things we've been through in life. Resilience is going through things, knowing how to bounce back, knowing how to overcome, and not letting it change the core of who you are. Another favorite episode was, how do modern women balance their ambition and their femininity? Also, how to look at skincare. Skincare is one of my favorite topics because I told my story on this episode about uh, skincare as a big part of self care and finding the right people to help. I suffered with acne for far too long. And, it just wasn't, a lot of people around me weren't talking about how you could really get a good dermatologist and esthetician and people to make sure that your skincare regimen is on point. So, some great tips in that episode. Also, your self care. I had a great guest who was a self care expert. She was somebody who also, Sister Sumaya Hill, she went viral on social media because of how she stood up for her husband at a conference that she was at. And I was actually at that conference. That's where I met her in person and we connected. Well, she had this viral clip moment where she really stood up for and defended her husband in this interaction with another man at the conference, the host of the conference. And it was just amazing. And people were commenting that they want that again. They want to see more of that, more real love where women stand up and defend their men and men stand up for and defend their women. So she was a great guest talking about her skincare line and self care, and also got to talk about how feminine energy is key in attracting the kind of relationship that you want. That this, if you're questioning whether I should be on this feminine energy journey or not, you don't have to question because it is the key to attracting and maintaining a healthy relationship. I also got to talk with I had a great guest where we talked about healing past hurts, body work, somatic work, or Esprit Ori was my guest. She's a body work and somatic practitioner. And she had an amazing story about how she learned to better process her emotions, her feelings, and work through things herself through her body. And so that was a great episode. Um, and then I did a whole series on conflict resolution. So, ways to deal with conflict in your relationship, ways to look at how your own attachment style could be impacting conflict in your relationship. And then I had a great guest, Brother Habib Akande, and he talked to us about what men don't tell you about what they want in a relationship. And that was very spicy and a bit controversial because I do have women that reach out to me sometimes and like, no, I don't care what men want. This is about me and my journey. And I'm like, ladies, like, let's be serious. Let's be real here. It's a two-way street. You want men to care about how to please you. You need to care about what they want and how to please them as well. So he dug deep into it and we really talked about things uh like he's written a lot about polygyny from the Islamic tradition and what that looks like in the modern day and things the rights of Muslim women in terms of sexual and sensual satisfaction. Something that a lot of people don't know about is that Muslim women, it's written in the Quran, they are entitled in their marriage to a healthy sexual life and sexual satisfaction. So we broke that down. That was great. We actually broke that up into two episodes because the interview was so long. And then I got to talk with a renowned professional matchmaker. Yes, she is a matchmaker. Her Shay Primus, her company is called upper echelon matchmaking. So she works with high earning professionals, matchmaking women with men who that they just have the same values and goals. and want to date with intention, but they're busy. So she helps them do that. And she talked about why you actually need and can benefit from a matchmaker. And she does a whole 360. She has a sex therapist, a mental health therapist. She does questionnaires, personality things. She makes sure she gets people matched up. And then we talked about betrayal, how to deal with betrayal in a relationship, and how to manage these difficulties with grace and emotional intelligence and not letting what somebody else does get you off your center. So, what is that balance between standing on business, but still being dignified, graceful, and not letting things, take you off balance? Also, people love this, like how to embrace a soft life, like how to truly embrace it so that it plays out in your day to day. Now, people have commented to me, Dr. Nicole, you really take care of yourself. You really do. And I say, this is something that's been developing with me for 10 to 15 years. When I was at my lowest, when I was at the brink, when I was in the midst of burnout, I had to learn to rebuild. I did not just want to be walking through existence, raising my daughters and being in a marriage. I wanted to learn to thrive. And I had to learn to take better care, self care, to really make that the focus. So that involved embracing the soft life. Then I had a great guest in Thai Pack. She is an award winning bodybuilder. We talked about toning and really getting your body together so that you feel good as well as look good. Um, and then that was when I did another 3 or 4 episodes about communication. So one was on the do's and don'ts of communication for a stronger relationship. The other was on how to learn as a woman to stop being the fixer in your relationship. So many relationships, women are feeling bogged down and drained. They're getting in their masculine because they're always trying to fix things. So it's how to get out of that. And then also how to deal with your fear of abandonment in relationships and how that affects your communication, how to deal with your mommy wounds. So, a lot of times when we talk about abandonment and all of these childhood issues that may impact our relationships, we focus a lot on the father. If your dad wasn't there, or there was conflict between your mom and your dad, we really often look at daddy issues. But I did an episode 32, on how to really address, acknowledge, and heal your mommy wounds so you will have a healthy relationship. And then finally, the last episode before this in season 1 was back to helping high achieving women embrace their femininity and softness so that they don't feel overwhelmed. They don't feel like they're inauthentic. So many high achieving women want to lean into their femininity. They just aren't sure if they can give themselves permission to, and they aren't sure how to do it. So we literally brought it full circle at the end of season 1. And I call season 1 the primer on how to step into your femininity. So you will definitely want to stay tuned. Season 2 is starting next week as we go deeper into these topics and have amazing conversations with amazing guests who are going to contribute so much. And I'm going to level up in my answers to you all guests. When people write in and have questions, I'm really going to dig in, and I am looking for guests from you all, from my audience, who want to come on to experience live coaching with me. So, season 2 is going to be so exciting. There's going to be a mix of live YouTube shows, amazing guests, deeper insights and conversations with me, and invitations to you all, the audience members, to come on, either have your questions answered by me or be coached by me on the podcast. Okay. So I am so excited. Again, thank you so much I'm Dr. Nicole. I cannot wait to see you with season two. If you want to reach out to me, you can send me a message in my email or on Instagram. You can see the link there. And I will see you for season two. Until then, stay soft, stay feminine, stay beautifully you. Take care.